Hi, welcome to GamingBarosh, our first English episode. I'm Dr. G, Juloot founder. What is GamingBarosh? GamingBarosh is a live streaming video podcast. In the show, we explore how video games and gameful mindset entrepreneurs affect every aspect of our lives today and our gameful future. The word BaRosh in Hebrew has two meanings. BaRosh in the mind and also lead the way. Hence, GamingBarosh means gaming leads or gaming in mind. If you love gaming, innovation, and culture, if you're interested in eSport, virtual reality, augmented reality, and other cool tech, if you want to learn more what holds for us in the gameful future, this show is for you. Mind the game before they mind you. This is our first episode in English. I sat down with Ziv Lavee, a good friend, to discuss the cultural and economical impact of eSport. Ziv is a gamer in his free time and into game research. For fun and living, he breaks apps in Copenhagen, Denmark. Game on. Hi Ziv, how are you? So how are you doing in your stay in Israel, in TLV?
I'm visiting the family. It's been over a year since we had this reality show called COVID. And visitation
a real reality show.
And I came here because I had to quarantine for 2 weeks, but then I also decided to get a chance at getting the vaccine. So I got vaccinated. And 2 days later, and I'm fine. No tails yet. I'm expecting to get at least 4 tails somewhere.
No, some kind of special avatar with special forces, blue hair or something like that.
I am considered a failed Spider-Man experiment because a few years back I was bitten by a spider and all I got was only a finger that got really, really necrotic. But it's fine now.
Yeah. Okay. So
I can't climb walls or anything. Yeah.
So I'm very glad to hear it, and you, as I said, you're our honorable guest in this Gaming BaRosh video podcast. This is what we do. All of you are interested in learning how video games affect our everyday life and our gameful future. Welcome. And today, I think let's talk about something very interesting which we found together on the web, and it's the Brazilian favelas. eSport is an unlikely source of hope, written by Rafael. What is your take on that eSport is becoming a hopeful way to proceed in life for the Brazilian?
Yeah. So we have to consider the context that we're talking about a period of 2020 and COVID, and Brazil was hit quite hard, and it's pretty amazing that people can still find a way to promote themselves and to evolve, so to speak, in their lifestyle. And the interesting part, it doesn't take all that much. For example, if you have a kid, a teenager, a kid, or someone who wants to become a professional soccer player, it requires a lot of resources to have proper gym, proper soccer field, equipment, and so on. And no single person can take this kind of endeavor. Well, in eSport, I'm not talking about, the high-end leagues that already have coaches and they have regime and they have a specific group, but like every individual who is actually very proficient in their gaming can stream video, can show bits and pieces in different games, and they can get enough support that would enable them not only to take care of their own profession, but also to have their own lives. To like the guy in that article called Dexter, that his wife had some medical issues. So all he had to do was ask for help from his followers, and they were happy to do it. And it doesn't take all that much. It is enough that you have even 100 followers, and each of them contribute just a little bit. you can get quite a very big sum of money or help. And also there was this organization over there, the what's it called, Fire something, that provide equipment for these young people who come from those poorer areas, and they can play just as good as anybody else.
I'm thinking about, I think that I'm reflecting on the latest Netflix show that I saw about Pelé and his impact on Brazil. Pelé, the greatest footballer, soccer, as we say in Americans, player that came from really poor surrounding and became the greatest football player or soccer player in the world, and its impact on the culture of Brazil. And I've noticed, I know he made an amazing transition for himself, for his family, and also for the country. And I remember myself when I was young, I didn't heard about Brazil before, but when I saw Pelé play, I said, okay, this is a cool, when I saw Pelé play, I said, wow, this is a cool country. They play so, like in the rumba or the janga, as we call it, the janga football style, which is the heritage of the Brazilian culture. And I noticed within the within the wired, how do I say, the wired publication or the wired article, that it was, this is under culture. So you take eSport and we'll classify the piece, this piece of, in Brazilian powers, eSport is an unlikely source of hope under culture. This is very interesting, which states that we might see a new heroes coming up from the favelas, poor area in the world, and they will have a big impact, not only on themselves, but maybe on the culture. So eSport by itself as a new medium of sport is some kind of new bridge for people that want to promote themselves from poverty to, for wealth even, but for self-providence and to improve their position in society and also in the culture of the country.
Yeah, it helps to develop. We know that gaming is one of the strongest motivators that there are, and maybe even the strongest. So if you take a person and you give them just this little nudge that they need in order to achieve what they want, they would take it all the way to the finish line.
Yeah, this is very interesting, and the fact that you don't need much. I know for myself because I'm playing Gods of Boom. It's a mobile game. It's like it's a little bit like Unreal Tournament with small team, each one against each other on a mobile. It's really cool. It's in a characteristic manner like Fortnite, and I know there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of players in Brazil and South America that play this game, and there's a league, an eSport league, and they can benefit like $25,000 from it, which is a lot of money for someone in favelas.
Yes, and maybe those people can later on become community leaders.
Community leaders, and maybe break away from the gangster or from the from the crime life that they have, and the poor life that they have. So I think it's a combination of both the possibility that this eSport provide, and also if we're taking, I want to highlight another point about the impact of video games. The fact that video games are boosting technology. So as we know, both of us change our computers, I think every I don't know how about you, but I mean, every 2 or 3 years, you have to upgrade your graphical card. You have to upgrade your hardware. So gaming is like pushing technology that pushes the hardware and software, and also the bandwidth and the cloud technology and the AI technology. We will this is our next item about the AI, and VR. But take, for example, if I'm in the favelas and I don't have bandwidth, I don't have the smartest mobile phone, but still, people in the favelas in Rio can play. This is amazing from my perspective. It's really cool.
Yeah, but think about it. Say, for example, you need, I don't know, $100 to establish no, not $100, but you need a certain amount to allow access to fast internet. Per user, it's going to be at worst $100. So an organization like they mentioned in the article that provides the equipment, and they specifically said we only provide those who have a problem, who live in those poor areas, and they have a problem to live off their salary.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you need a very small investment per user. Well, to build a fully staffed and operational gym would cost 100 times more, or even a center.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, because it's virtual, and if you take the favelas, for example, if someone wants to be Pele, the next Pele, or I think everybody knows Pele, but one to comes from the favelas to become this kind of star, it's like one from hundreds of millions. And in eSport, you have different kind of games that you can specify in them. You can be a first-person shooter. It can be a sport like a Rocket League, like a sports. And it could be also a MMO, a game, or it can be a card game like Hearthstone. So you have more than one path to go to, to increase the hope and to increase your level of engagement and the level of from poverty to become a self-supported man or go.
Yeah. Either self-supporting person or self-supporting team or whatever. And it's not limited to, for example, the COVID restrictions where you had people couldn't go to the gym, people couldn't play together soccer. Even in those random games where you had one person sick, suddenly if one person had COVID, then the entire team had to go to quarantine. eSport goes like, don't make me laugh. I'm operating remotely.
The thing is that with eSport that the big gatherings in stadiums stopped completely, but still the leagues in eSport were able to proceed in a virtual kind of way. And I read an interesting article that states that the COVID impacted eSport in such a way that instead of starting in a global event, there will be more local, city, area, country-based event within the eSport league that will promote the locals. So it's kind of interesting to see how, when the COVID-19 will decrease, how it will affect the eSport and the gaming industry by itself. So this is a really good thing to follow. Okay, cool.
I don't think it would die down. I think it will only either stay the same or increase.
Yeah, exactly. It's very interesting to see how it will develop the eSport within in South America, like India. I mean, India is a big country that invests in eSport these days, and also in Malaysia and China, of course, Korea, but also in the Middle East, in the Emirates. You know that in the Emirates and in the Arab world, there's a vast investment now in the eSport and the gaming industry these days. So it will be interesting to see the impact of this investment in the near future.